My name is Shanae Benaya, and there are many things that just don't make sense to me. Like how some people could think that arts education could not be a good thing, especially when it has been seen as something that helps students and teachers. There are many points that I could make, but I'll just stick with three for now. Arts education is fundamental to education, which in turn means that it can improve education, and we need arts education. As a former fine arts student, I just have to say that normal classes and art classes are not the same thing. There are some similarities. There are assignments, subjects, and a grade point that each student needs to be competent in to pass. Then there are readings, videos, and a lecturer to teach the assignment. But there are many differences between how teachers go about teaching these assignments in difficult classes. In art classes, there are set limits, but a free flowing time that allows students to work on on their pieces and work with their pieces. In an art class, if you're feeling stuck, you're allowed to walk around and get advice, inspiration from other people. I don't remember if I was allowed to do that in my math classes. This expands the thinking of what students create in classes. But then there's another word for this, and that's cheating. This narrows the thinking of what students create. There are many different forms of art in education, but I'll just give you two that we see in classes. Art integration goes in many schools. The reading of Shakespeare might form into watching the Shakespeare movies, might form into going to the Shakespeare play. It might form into any form of experiencing Shakespeare live and in front of you. This provides the arts with this provides for the arts to be in everyday classes and everyday students to get in touch with the arts on a different level. Art expanded classes are also very common, like when history classes will take a tour of the local museum, or when English classes will take a tour of any library. The other point that I have to make is that there is art is that if the art were expanded and opened in all classes, this might give us insight onto how to improve education. There are many points, but we'll stick with three here. The first is that the arts could improve the capacity to perceive and explore relationships. In the arts, you always have to be aware of the relationships in the picture, in the drawing, in art, in dance, in music. How far one thing is from another, what kind of shapes is something. It's all about relationships and cause and effect. This understanding goes well in other classes like science and English, history, and writing. The second is the ability to give us form to our feelings, or give the appropriate forms to the appropriate feelings. In art, we are always thinking about what the appropriate forms can be for the question at hand. It can help in classes like English, persuasive writing. And finally, there's the thought that the journey is the purpose. We do that everywhere in arts education. There are science projects in which you hear the whole process is a part of the performance. Even in math, you have that show your work mentality. There are so many ways you could improve the way we teach students. And lastly, we have the fact that we need arts education. We need this type of thinking, this slow, meticulous way to do our work. We need the open environment of the art world because, in all honesty, they help us learn. They help us different ways of thinking, from the visual to the kinesthetic to the auditory. Everybody gets to learn in a different way, but the same way. And the arts gives us that. Thank you and goodbye.